This video is brought to you by Draeger's Classics. This is the day we bought the 77 Spitfire, and Andrew's backing it out of the guy's garage, and we're driving it to the clubhouse, which wasn't very far away. So it's like anything new, you got to take your time with it. But look how nice that looks. It's just a good looking car. It's far better than most of them you'll find, and it's not a show car, but it just looks good. And Andrew, as you'll see, he really likes the way it runs and drives. Here comes Andrew driving our new Spitfire. Anyway, it's a cute car. Drives nice. Well, you could kind of tell he had, what did he say, he had 6 other Triumphs besides this one? But they were the T6s or Spitfire. They were Spitfire 6, or I'm not sure what they were. Anyway, they were coupe that they had. He was only getting rid of this to make room so he could start working on a 50 Willys Jeep. Sounds good too, doesn't it? This is the day we bought it. This has been brush touched, and it's probably the worst thing on this whole car is right here. It's got a long scratch. It comes up here and also here. I have no idea what happened. That's just the way we bought it. You can see we got the wheels are all. This is just a stock car with a nice little Spitfire. Everything looks good on here, all across here. This is, of course, the latch for the hood. You got one on each side to lift up on. Everything looks good here. Doors, they open good. The window cranks up just fine. And the door closes. Of course, this is your convertible top here. There's a little nick in the paint right there. It's been brush touched. There really isn't much to show you so far as the bad stuff in the paint or anything. The chrome all looks good. You know, it's not a show car, but you'll like the way it looks. It's just, everything looks good. And again, reverse lights weren't working the first time there, but now they are. We didn't do anything to it. And of course, got a rack on here in the back. Lift this up. That supports it there. This is a tonneau cover that goes over the whole car when you're storing it. You have the spare tire right here. And look up here, the trunk light works. Oh, that's under. You got to undo the nut here to get that off. Anyway, it's got a lot of tread on here. This is a tool kit. Here, I guess, the jack. Yep, there's the jack and the wrench for it. I don't see a lug wrench, but all this looks good in here. You can see the floor pans down in here and everything. All that looks good. You can see there's just no rust in here anywhere. All looks good. This underside of this looks good. Oh, let's put this back in there. closes like it should. You got your gas cap right here. And has an antenna, and there's a hole underneath the dash there for a radio, but it doesn't have one in it. Again, this side is the same way. It's just really nice, straight and clean. This is a clean little car. I think you'll be real happy when it runs and drives. And again, this window cranks up good. And it closes good. I mean, everything works good on here. The windshield's all in good shape. All this looks good all through here. And this, of course, is the bonnet, and I'll lift it up here for you. Anyway, everything looks good. Just dust. Everything looks good on here. I really like this car. That's why I bought it. I didn't buy it because I know them. I bought it because how clean and nice it is. And I think you can have a good time with it. It's easier to lift it up with both two people, but one person could do it. And it's got an over-center lever over there on the other side over there. And again, look how clean that is in there. It's nice. You can see this independent suspension under here. You can see that everything looks good on it. I think you'd be real happy. But look underneath here. Come around here and so you can show them the underside of the hood and the inner fenders. I mean, you can just see how nice all this whole car is. It's a clean little car. You'll be real happy with this. The door panel on here, yeah, it's a little wrinkly, not bad. This is your door pull here, and here's your inner handle here. That locks the door. This all looks good. All this looks good through here. The seats, they got a little wrinkle in them a little bit, but they're good. There's no holes or anything in them. Both seats are that way. They look good. I don't know how empty seats. Oh yeah. Maybe that's all the further it goes is right there. Now take this cover off here and show you the convertible top. Now to put the top up, you just got to reach in here and pull it up. Actually, that's all there is to it. You can see the back window in here is like new, and the top looks really, really good. And of course, you snap these down and place the tonneau cover, and it just snaps up here in the front. You got latches here, go in here, and you got it, and your levers right here to lock it in place. So top looks just fine. Some of these tops are really bad, but this is a pretty decent top. You can see the dash across here is all good. It's a wood grain dash. I can see, you know, a little cracking in the, not in the wood, but in the varnish, it looks like to me, on here. And of course the dash itself, pad looks good. Carpets, you know, they're old, but they're good. It's got mats in here. That all looks good. There's no place to sit in there, particularly. Anyway, and I can get in it too. I got room, I can get in it. So it isn't all bad. So this is your emergency brake right here. And start it up, you can see the gas gauge is going up. Temperature gauge, of course, we haven't had it on very long, so it's not very hot here. I'll push that in. It doesn't seem to be doing anything. You can see the brake light works on there. So that all works good. This is the wipers right here. And the washer, which is not doing anything. That's the horn. This flashes the light this way. And of course you got your turn signals there. And this light's not flashing on this side, but I know it's working because I can hear it. This is your heater right here. And so that's a fan right there. Call it boost. And it works. Doesn't put out a lot of heat. but it works. That's your headlights right here, switch. So you can see everything works pretty. Oh, and this is a choke right here too.
We're going to show you the headlights, high and low beams. There's the park lights. There's the headlights, high beams. There's left turn signal, right turn signal, wipers, and a horn. I will show you the back end of the car, the tail lights. There's the tail lights, brake lights, left turn, right turn, and reverse.
I'm impressed with the underside on this car. Kind of like what I'm impressed with the top side on this car. I haven't found any rust in it anywhere, and that's probably unusual in one of these things, but I don't know Spitfires or Triumphs particularly. I bought it because it was a clean car and it looked good and everything I saw looked good. It's not been restored or anything like that. This all pretty much looks original underneath here. It's grimy in the rear end here. You can see the rear end has got grease on it and stuff. But I noticed the U-joint on this, it's got independent suspension on the rear, which I didn't know until we lifted it up. Again, I don't know a lot about these cars, but everything looks good and solid. It's just, it's, you know, got a little grimy and stuff. The floor pans, I mean, you can see these floor pans all look good, all out here. Drain vents are in here. I'm not sure if they're drain vent. They got a plug right there, and this one's missing the plug. What do we got on this side? Well, this one's missing here too, but it's got plugs, like plugs that go in there. But again, all these floor pans look really good. I think this is an exceptional little Triumph. It'll give you a lot of good service and everything. So I'm just looking at it. Everything looks clean and decent, nothing fancy, and it's just good and solid everywhere I look. You know, again, I can look up in here and I see grime and grease on it in places. We have not washed it or, you know, or anything like that to clean it and make it look better on the underside. This is just the way we bought it. And I think you'll be impressed with this car. It's a great running little car. You can see the inner fender well in here. I mean, you can just see how good all that looks up in there, all the way through. It just looks really good. And that gives you a chance to see the suspension right there. One of the neat things on this car that I didn't realize, of course, as I mentioned earlier, it has independent suspension on all four wheels. And it's got drum brakes on the rear and disc brakes on the front. We have one backup light. The other backup light's not working. Probably burnout. Now the other light started working. It wasn't working before. We haven't done anything to it. I'm going to take you on a short drive in the Spitfire. You can see it drives really well. I mean, it works well, but I want to tell you, when you put the camera out here outside, you can't hear a thing. They're manual brakes, so you can't stop super fast with them like you would if they had a power booster on them. I forgot to show you the tach. You can see the tach is working. Temperature gauge has gone up on here a bit and stuff. Really little, smaller than this, I think. Anyway, we go on sports car rallies. When I was down in the Bay Area, and so it was kind of fun going around. And I learned about sports car rallies at that time, and this would be a fun car for that. And it's not a big car, and you don't have to have a lot of money invested in it. How smooth touch is and everything. All works just nice. This is a complete surprise. Look what's there. Another Spitfire. And it looks like a nice one, but I know nothing about it. It's the first time I've seen it. I didn't plan that. We're heading southbound on Aurora, just north of the Draeger's Clubhouse. You can see we're doing 50, maybe a little faster, and it's just running really well. Now I've had this down the freeway, and it just drives down the freeway nice. I would think probably around 60 miles an hour. I might have been doing more, but it worked just fine. Back to Draeger's Clubhouse. That was just a short ride, so you can see how well this thing runs and drives. I think you'd be quite happy with this car.
I'm Andrew Draeger, and if you have any questions about this vehicle, please don't hesitate to call or email us.
I'm Jerry Draeger, and we're a father-son team, and we hope you enjoyed the video. And understand that we really try really hard to go over the vehicle with this video to show you everything. Doesn't mean that I get every single spot or anything else, but I try. And Andrew and I both work really hard to make sure the vehicles are in top shape before they leave here. You got any questions, always give us a call or email us. We'd be more than happy to talk to you. We really invite you to come see them. And if you can't, you should have them inspected. I think it's really important to make sure you understand what you're buying.